Hi, I'm Mike Roberts, Principal Analyst at Informa Telecoms and Media, here with Solyman Ashrafi, VP of LTE at MetroPCS. Solyman, welcome. A few questions for you. First of all, how are you finding the LTE Americas event?
I've been presenting in similar conferences, and Sabah contacted me for a technical presentation on data throughput on LTE, and I also have been looking at different documents at LTE America. Easier to find than going through 3GPP because the documents are consolidated and it's easier to find.
Great. And your LTE rollout plans, you're obviously a significant operator in the US market, a regional operator, I guess would be a fair classification, correct me if I'm wrong. What are your LTE rollout plans?
Well, we have a number of markets, over 13 markets in US and expanding. And we have recently announced that we are going to launch our LTE technology by second part of 2010. We have already selected Ericsson as our infrastructure vendor and Samsung as our handset vendor.
And the smaller operators are not always the first operators to jump into new technologies. Could you just tell us why you're going to be on the cutting edge, as it were, along with the Verizons and NTT Docomos of the world?
Well, we have options to use EVDO or leapfrog to handsets and offer new technologies that would allow higher throughput to our consumers so that they can use bandwidth-hungry applications. That's the trend of the industry, and we decided that we would just go ahead with the handset and launch the LTE to not only just offer new applications for work and play, but also to reduce the maintaining our network, because the new LTE technologies would cost less than the legacy technologies, both in terms of CapEx and OpEx.
I think you addressed some of the opportunities of LTE there. If you want to say anything more on the opportunities you see for the technology, go ahead. And in the same question, I would ask also about the challenges, since you must be quite advanced in your planning if you're planning to launch next year.
Well, there are a number of challenges, of course, ahead of us. Mainly, if you look at when we select our infrastructure vendor and a different handset vendor, of course, we have interoperability issues. So we have to worry about IODT interoperability between the two vendors. We need to worry about backhaul, right? A lot of data traffic on the network, so how you deal with the backhaul. The other issue is how do you deal with remote radio heads and macro sites. How are you going to use the same sites? So there are a number of challenges that require technical solutions that we have been planning for.
Devices. Devices are always key to most services, including mobile services. What kind of devices do you plan to launch with, and how will your LTE device portfolio evolve over time?
As I indicated, we are going directly to the handset. We're not going to use data dongles and whatnot. And of course, we are evaluating a number of other handset providers other than just Samsung. But the reality is that you need to worry about single chip solutions, you need to worry about power consumptions, you need to worry about what type of applications can be offered, and being able to be dual mode that would support both your CDMA, our CDMA network, our legacy, as well as our new LTE technology.
You mentioned something interesting there. The conventional wisdom is most mobile handsets with LTE will be multi-mode. They will fall back to the existing technologies. You mentioned single mode chipsets. Are you saying you're looking into single mode sort of LTE only handsets?
No, not single mode, single chipset.
Right, I see.
Not single mode. You definitely have to support your CDMA network as well. And there are solutions on the network side like CS fallback that would allow you to have dual mode solutions in the handset.
And the last question for you, launching LTE in 2010 with handsets is very ambitious. Some people would say handsets might not arrive until 2011. Some people would say later. Are you feeling confident at the moment that you can launch in 2010 with LTE handsets, or is that a stretch?
Yeah, MetroPCS have been planning this for a long time, and we already have agreements with our handset provider that the availability is going to be there. And so we have been planning it and resolving a lot of issues. And so we are confident that we're going to do it in 2010, second part of 2010.
Okay, Solyman, good luck with that, and thanks very much.
Thank you very much.